I want to be where the real geeks are. I want to hear them podcast talking about all those, what do you call it? Old guy things. Up where they walk, 'cause they can't run. Up where they sleep a lot, 'cause it's fun. Whimsying free. Glad I can be in a bygone geek world.
The seaweed is always greener in somebody else's lake.
So yeah, that is what we're talking about today. We're talking about The Little Mermaid, and this is our first Disney movie.
Yeah.
And our first Disney animation, I think. And I started to read, and I now know why. Bygone Geeks, Eric, before this recording, and he even wrote it into our podcasting contract that I never read. If we ever did The Little Mermaid, I am obligated to call him Prince Eric through this whole episode. That's why we're doing this. I see it now. So
He's very handsome, isn't he?
I don't know, he looks kind of hairy and slobbery to me.
Not that one.
because this was when Disney was putting their movies in that like pillowcase. What do they call that? Clamshell style case?
Yeah, like the jewel case that was like padded and white and oversized. It didn't fit in the shelves. Yeah.
Oh, you had to get custom. Disney making that money again.
Well, they got to make it look like it came from the Disney vault. It has to be fancy looking.
So before they go back into the Disney vault for years to come, hurry.
This was the first time, and maybe one of the only times, where Eric and I, we've talked about an episode of what we're going to do and what we're going to talk about, where I was watching that movie with my daughter.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, should we do Little Mermaid? You know, the live action, the trailer's out, this and that. And I was like, oh my gosh, Harper and I are watching it right now. And I don't know if that will ever happen again.
Yeah.
You know, oh yeah, we're watching The Crow right now.
What a coincidence.
Tell them Eric Draven sends his regards.
David and I joke about not being able to remember what we had for breakfast yesterday, and yet suddenly I can, just belt out Kiss the Girl in my best Caribbean accent.
There you see her, sitting there across the way.
Sorry for all you Sebastian lovers. He was kind of annoying to me. Oh, Eric's giving me a look. Oh, great.
I like Sebastian's songs. Like, I did think that in the beginning he was a snitch for Triton. Then I'm like, well, get this snitch out of here.
So did Ariel. Ariel's like, you can go tell my dad you're good at that stuff. I was like, oh man, got him. Thank God they're underwater, because that was a harsh burn. Oh, Eric can edit that one out.
Jeez, Mom, I'm surrounded by amateurs.
I kind of think that if, like, in the first moment I went to kiss my wife on our first date, if I heard a small Caribbean crab voice in my ear, I might see a psychologist before I could kiss the girl.
Yeah. Might not be a bad idea. Yeah, and he goes, did you hear something? And I'm like, well, you're with someone who can't talk, so clearly something supernatural is happening to you. The world around you, there's frogs singing. Eric, are you? What's happening here?
Yeah, 2 days prior, he had head trauma from his from the shipwreck. Like, you maybe want to get that checked out.
I'm sorry if this knucklehead scared you. He's harmless, really.
That's a scene that has stayed with me in my rewatches with Harper as well. When King Triton is shown in the shadows watching Ariel and her collection, and he's not happy. He's not impressed. He's not amazed. This basically is a room that goes against everything he's tried to keep her from. But that total one moment where he had his big, they had that big argument, that really changed the movie for Ariel and what she wanted. He now pushed her away even further by trying to keep her closer.
Right.
And it was just kind of mindful for me to just think about as I parent, and I'm sure you feel the same way as an uncle, like just how the things we do to keep people close to us, our kids and our family, what reactions can have, how they have a effect on the young people. You know what I mean?
Children got to be free to lead their own lives.
If Uncle Eric keeps wearing off on Harper, the more I see her and get her interested in Bill Murray, that it would be the equivalent of, like, if one day you walk into a room and it's nothing but Bill Murray posters, you'll have your Triton moment of everything in this room you're totally against. You just destroy everything.
I would do it with a smile. You know what? I wouldn't even use a trident. I'd use the Ghostbuster Blaster. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, the Ghostbuster Blaster. That's exactly what it's called.
I'd use
You
that.
know what it's called.
It's right here, Ray. It's looking at me.
He's an ugly little spud, isn't he?
I think he can hear you, Ray.
It's been really cool seeing her watch it, and she'll start her song "Flippin' Your Fins," and she knows way more lyrics than I do, and it's just really fun to hear her sing something from 1989.
Yeah,
and here now as Bygone Geeks, we get to do a podcast on it in 2022.
Yeah,
and she's as a almost 3-year-old singing that song. So now, as you talked about, our girls doing this podcast 30 years from now, it will happen.
Yeah,
because she's making that memory just like we made 30 years ago.
Yes,
that's just wild to me.
The pretty one, a pretty one, a pretty say all day in the sun, wondering free, wish I could be part of that world.
Yay! That was great. Beautiful, Harper. Didn't cry this whole episode. Now I do. Oh my goodness, that is so adorable. My goodness.